Part 1. The Last Train.
I started working at a new place a couple of months ago, one of those 24-hour pharmacies on the outskirts of the city. The schedule is brutal. 24 hours on, 48 off, with regular night shifts. At first, I complained, but eventually I got used to it. The pay is good, and overall it's quiet. I live in a different part of town, and getting home takes almost an hour and a half, especially when I use public transport. After a night shift, I usually take the last train at 4:50 a.m. The platform is nearly always empty, except for the occasional passenger like me, workers, security guards, or exhausted nurses. It became so routine that I stopped noticing the details. But in early May, I saw a man who I think I'd noticed before. Tall, wearing a black jacket and a baseball cap. He stood on the opposite platform, completely still, not looking around, just staring straight ahead into the darkness. I didn't think much of it. People act strangely at 5 a.m. sometimes. A few days later, I saw him again. Same jacket, same cap, but this time he was standing on my side of the platform, a little further down. I glanced at him. He didn't even look at me, just stood there. Then there were a few days without night shifts. I forgot about him, but the following week, there he was again, standing on the platform. Each time he looked almost the same, but something always felt slightly off. Different shoes, a bandage on one arm, or even his face. It looked slightly different somehow, like a similar person, but not exactly the same. I tried to recall how or when he boarded the train, but I never noticed. He just seemed to disappear. One morning, the train stopped unexpectedly between stations. The lights flickered. I was nearly alone in the car. Outside, it was pitch dark, but I saw a figure, him, standing near the tracks where no one should be, just standing in the dark between the trees, watching the train.
Part 2. A Familiar Face.
After that sudden stop in the woods, I got truly scared for the first time. I told my friend about it. She shrugged.
Maybe you're just having hallucinations from sleep deprivation. You've been working nights.
I didn't argue, but I started paying closer attention. I purposely chose different train cars so I could watch the whole platform, try to spot him early. Sometimes he wouldn't show up at all, and somehow that was even more disturbing. Then came the coincidences. I stopped into a 24-hour grocery store before a shift, and he was there. I recognized him by his walk. He didn't look at me, didn't approach, just passed by with a bottle of water. My stomach turned. Did he live nearby? Work close? The next morning, I left work a little early. The weather was warm, so I decided to walk to the station instead of taking the bus. That's when I saw him, standing against the wall of a nearby building, as if he were waiting for someone. I walked faster, and I swear I could feel him watching my back. I started taking photos of him secretly through my phone, but the pictures were always blurry. Someone would pass by, or the light would flare strangely. It was like something interfered every time. I showed the photos to my friend. She said you couldn't see the face, could be anyone, but I knew. And then came that morning. I got on the train like always, empty car. Just one person across the aisle. I didn't look directly at them, but something felt wrong. Not the breathing, not the silence, just this overwhelming sense that someone was being too still. I looked at the window, and in the reflection, I saw him sitting right across from me, staring without blinking. I turned my head quickly, and he was gone. Empty seat. Either he left, or I was in the wrong car. I got up and moved forward, and yes, the rest of the train was practically empty, but the feeling stayed with me.
Part 3. Who's following whom?
I decided that was enough. If I wasn't imagining all this, then someone was actually following me. I started keeping records, dates, times, places I saw him, what he was doing. Nothing specific, always vague, always nearby, always too well-timed. I changed my route, took a different path, got off one stop earlier, sat in a cafe for an hour, then continued home. That night, he wasn't there. But 2 days later, he was back, standing on the platform again, staring straight ahead like I didn't exist. I got on the train and, for the first time, couldn't hold it in. I walked past him, stopped, turned back. "Excuse me, do we know each other?" I asked. He turned his head slowly, pale face, eyes slightly bulging, no smile.
No.
He said, voice low, like someone with a sore throat. "Sorry if I'm bothering you." And that was it. I got on the train, heart pounding. He didn't follow, just stood there and watched the train leave. After that, I tried convincing myself it was all coincidence. Maybe he was just weird, maybe he had issues. But technically, he hadn't broken any laws, hadn't touched me, hadn't threatened me. Then I saw him again, in my neighborhood, a weekday evening. I was coming out of the store, and across the street, there he was, same walk, like he was just casually passing by. I didn't go home. I walked around the block, stopped in at the pharmacy where I used to work, sat there for half an hour. When I came back, right by my apartment entrance, I saw a plastic water bottle, the same brand he always bought. Coincidence? That night, I barely slept, and in the morning I found something in my mailbox, a sheet of paper, no envelope, handwritten, 2 words. You noticed.
Part 4. So it was you.
I went to the police, explained the situation, showed them the list of sightings, the blurry photos, the note. A young officer listened with that face. "Oh great, another paranoid woman." He asked.
Did he touch you? Threaten you?
No.
So what exactly did he do?
I don't know. He's just everywhere. He took the statement, promised a patrol would keep an eye out, and let me go. I never went back to work. Took sick leave, then quit, moved in with a friend in another part of town. For several weeks, nothing. No train stations, no sightings, no him. I almost convinced myself it was just exhaustion, sleep deprivation, anxiety, just a series of strange but meaningless coincidences. The world is big. Weird people exist. Then one night, around 3 a.m., I woke up because something clattered in the apartment. Not loud, like a spoon falling on tile. I froze. My friend was asleep. I told myself I imagined it. In the morning, as I reached for the front door to go to the store, I noticed something under the doormat, a small, glossy photo card, like one from a photo booth. I picked it up. On it was a blurry picture, dark background, hard to make out, but in one corner, my silhouette inside a train car, and next to me, him, his face close to the glass, looking straight into the camera. I never took that photo. On the back, written in blue pen,
So you really did notice.